The Tech Terror Super Monkey recently got absolutely destroyed by Ninja Kiwi, so today let's try and see what the extent of the damage is, and let's try and see how good of an auto attacker this tower is, but also let's try and play around its ability, because I do have a very special plan for it. So to give you guys an idea of how big the damage done to this tower is, let me first off start with the Robo Monkey, because they actually started nerfing this from the tier 3, the Robo. So this thing costs $7,500 and it used to be $7,000, so that's about a $500 increase, or about 7.1% if I remember correctly. And then look at this thing, the Tech Terror at $25,000, and guys, this thing used to cost $18,000, so that's an increase of $7,000, and if you do the maths, it comes out closer to 40% of a price increase, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. And so I told you guys that I do have a plan for this video, and the plan is to not only rely on the auto attacking component of the Tech Terror, but we're also going to be relying on its ability. And so the ability, as you guys know, it is a huge circle which just wipes all of the balloons that are inside of it, and that's why I want to buy an Energizer sub actually, because this thing reduces the cooldowns by 20%. I also brought Sai as the hero, and I just plan to make this late game an ability based run, so we're gonna have to combine these abilities. So we're gonna stun the balloons with Sai, then we're gonna use the Tech Terror ability, stall the balloons a little bit, but we have a very long ways to go because we need to remove this thing for $1,000. And even though we have the money, I actually don't want to do it now. I kind of want to see what we do on these next rounds. And the Super Monkey is just a super expensive tower, it's 2.7k. So let's actually go like this. I'm gonna buy just a sniper. This guy is not gonna be the best spotter for our sub, but the thing is, the sub is gonna be submerged anyways in a second. So here's what we could do. Let me go like this. Let's switch it to strong, and I'm just gonna buy it as a 100, and I really hope I wasn't late on that thing. No, I wasn't. It's fine. And yeah, here is the Super Monkey, and if you guys haven't tried the Millipede Super Monkey, it was actually busted. In fact, I don't think that even though it got nerfed, it got absolutely destroyed, but even though it got nerfed so much, I actually don't think that it's gonna be that problematic for a tower, because I still think it's really good. This thing synergizes so well with Geraldo, with the Char of Pickles, and with the Sharpening Stone, but I didn't want to bring Geraldo because I do have something else planned for this video. But come on guys, this is just such a complete tower. And wait a minute, should I be doing... I think I should. So I actually bought the night vision goggles so that through the advanced intel the sub can also deal with the camos, because Sai is getting a little bit overwhelmed, and this is actually going to help for the next round as well. So might as well leave it like that. Let's go for the Millipede upgrades. These guys are going to give it some huge range. Hey guys, look at this thing, 8.1k. This is just ridiculous pricing. Maybe we should have started with a village, but then we would have lost a little bit of DPS. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should have started with this kind of village, because all these Super Monkey upgrades are super strong. But you know what? It is what it is. So let's actually get the village like right now. So let's get the discount village like this. We have 1.8k remaining, and I think we're actually fine because Sai can now hold it. Yes, Sai can hold these ceramics. So actually the ceramics from the Moab are not a problem when you have Sai as your hero. And yeah, look at this thing. So this thing used to cost 8.1k and now it's 6.8, and we actually nearly have the money. And I know that we didn't get the discount on like the base tower, but we are going to be getting the discount on the knockback. And let me just buy this thing, by the way. I want to have the other arm on close. I usually have them on close one first. I'm not exactly sure which one is better, but I just feel like close is a little bit safer, right? And let's also go for the knockback plus the ultra vision as soon as possible, because round 48 is going to have some camel purples, and we are not exactly dealing with those guys. I mean, it's the sub plus the intel vision from the night vision goggles, but let's just have this guy, and look at this range. Look at this. This is the perfect map for this thing. Imagine if we had Oben as a hero, which is going to give him so much more range. This would have been insane. But yeah, listen, we're going to make this thing work, guys. With the Energizer sub, we're going to be clicking so many abilities. It's going to be so fun. So if you guys want to know what the reason is why this thing got nerfed, well, you are looking at this thing. So for example, we're in the 50s, right? And so take a look at these next rounds. We have a bunch of Moabs plus ceramics incoming. This is round 57, and we're gonna have Moabs and ceramics incoming on 58, which is basically the most difficult balloons the game can throw at you right at this point of the game. So with only a 032 Robo Monkey, with a 320 Alchemist under a 200 Village, I guess we can count Sai in, but I mean, they're not helpful. They're not as helpful yet, right? We are not playing the game onto the other tracks of this map. So this map has 3 tracks, and we're only playing on the top track. That's how much damage this thing is doing. Like, we're just keeping all of these balloons in place. Not only that, but if we had the old pricing, that would have meant that we would have had the Tech Terror by now, because we have $20,000 saved up. So that's how crazy this tower used to be, and that is exactly why they had to do a price bump onto this thing, because this is around 50, like it's actually 59 right now. But at this point, you could have just had a Tech Terror, but at this point of the game, even when the Robo is just destroying everything by himself. So yeah, alright, so round 62, we're gonna have around 63 in a second, and we are gonna have the money for the, actually, are we gonna have the money for the Tech Terror before 63 rolls in? We're not. We're gonna be so close, but I actually don't want to buy the Tech Terror now. I actually want to buy the Energizer sub, because the sub is gonna increase the XP that Sai gets, and so we kind of want to level Sai up a little bit faster. But look at this thing, by the way. This is, come on guys, round 63 is just a 0-3 Robo. They might even keep nerfing this thing even further in the next update. I'm gonna be honest, this thing is just way too good for the price, right? Okay, so finally we have the money for the Energizer, and I'm actually gonna buy this thing as fast as possible, because we do need to get the XP on Sai going. So let's get them to level 20 as soon as possible. This is gonna get amazing when we have all these cooldowns going. So we do have the cooldown reduction right now going on to Sai, but they are our only abilities so far. So when we get the Tech Terror, plus we might buy some other abilities. So look at Sai's placement, for example. I had to place them like this because we didn't have the tower removed right when we started this game. We can buy a support Chinook actually, because look at this. I use the ability, but the stun ability doesn't reach anything. So I would kind of actually like to have Sai here, maybe next to the Super Monkey. But if we want to do that, we're going to need to buy a support Chinook. So that's a lot of money that we're planning to spend so far. So let's kind of actually deal with these rounds first, then we're going to see what we do. So that's round 75. Not even worried about this one. I'm going to use the level 10 ability actually for round 76, just to kind of wipe these guys as fast as possible. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get the support Chinook so that we can relocate Sai here in the middle, so that the ability actually affects these balloons. And we do have a discount village, so let me just actually try and have the support Chinook like this, so we get the discount, but it's not getting buffed by the Alchemist, and I think this is fine. And now let's wait for the ability, and let's try and kind of rearrange these towers. First off, let's see if we can find the space. Oh, wait a minute, there's no space. Oh no, I have to move all of them, I think. Okay, so let's start with the Alchemist, actually go like this. Now we have the ability back, so let's relocate the Super Monkey, but let's have it more towards the left side. And I think if I move the Super Monkey, like, it just barely got moved to the left, but I think if now when the Chinook ability comes off, I think we should have enough place for Sai next to the Super Monkey. So we did a little bit of rearranging, but I think it's gonna turn out fine, so let's just check it out. So now the ability should at least affect these balloons on like the middle track, right? Let's actually test it when these guys come out. If it affects these balloons on the top track, I'm gonna be super happy. So let's actually test it on these guys. Oh my god, it actually works. It stuns them. Yes, we are on, guys. Let's just buy the Tech Terror and let's get this thing started. Wait a minute, I did not think this one through. So we did move Sai, but now they are outside of the range of the Energizer. In order to get the buff, they need to be inside. So I'm actually, so I'm gonna move him back like this, but we are gonna get him back next to the Super Monkey in a couple of rounds. Yeah, this map, I wish that this Energizer buff was at least global, right? But it is what it is. Okay, so let's actually use the level 10 ability. Let's hold all of these mobs, and this is gonna make the job of the Super Monkey a little bit easier. And we do have the level 3 ability, which by the way should be able at least to stun on the last track, right? And just to show you guys how powerful the level 10 ability is, look at this thing. So this round has a bunch of mobs, and I'm just gonna use this, and half of them are gonna disappear. So watch this. Bang. And so half of them are getting held, and the other half is just getting moved back. And if something for some reason makes it to the bottom track, then we're just gonna stun them. Let me actually just use the stun, and bam, look at this thing. They're such a great hero, Sai. But we do have the money for the Tech Terror, so let's buy the Tech Terror finally. And this is it, guys. This is the tower that Ninja Kiwi wanted to nerf so bad, but we're gonna buy it anyway, so we're gonna test it. So now we have an extra ability to play around with, and let me just show you guys how good this ability is now. So if we just do something like this, yeah, this is gonna be the magic performance in which both of these towers are just gonna be making balloons disappear throughout this entire game. So now there's something that you guys might not know about the Tech Terror ability, and that is every third usage it crits. Yeah, the ability crits, not the attacks. The attacks crit by themselves, yeah, for sure, but the ability crits as well. And those ability crits can, I'm not sure if they can wipe entire ZMGs, but I'm pretty sure they do a lot of damage. And then this is gonna be the crit ability I was talking about, so I'm gonna use the ability and all these guys are gonna disappear. So watch this thing. Boom, the ability crits, and that was 45 BFVs that just go, they just go away, guys. They just disappear in an instant. But yeah, we're doing well versus DDTs, I'm pretty sure, although maybe not. Oh, wait a minute, maybe not the auto attacking part. Okay, so we might have an issue with rounds like 95 because we're not exactly attacking them. Okay, so let's use the ability that are stacked really nicely, and bang, everything just evaporates. Oh my god, I love using this ability. I know if you can get the map for this thing, like, oh my god, it does so much damage. But look at this thing, round 92, this is a kind of an interesting round, and it can be very problematic sometimes. So let me just use the Sabo, and we're kind of buying a little bit of time actually for the Tech Terror Terra ability, which I want to use to wipe all these mobs. So I'm going to use it now. That wasn't the strongest ability, actually. Let's use size level 10 ability as well, just to kind of hold these guys in place. Okay, so I actually forgot to count, so I'm going to use the level 3 ability. I don't know which ability crits from the Tack Terra, and I hope it's this one. So let's use it. It was this one. Oh my god, did you guys see that? 4 ZOMGs just wiped. They're just gone. Okay, these crits, we need to play around them, by the way, for these later rounds. Okay, so here's what I want to do for this one. Let me use the Sabo. Let's kind of slow these guys down. Let's kind of have them all in the middle. I'm going to use the stun. The stun barely... the stun seems to affect the balloons on the second track, so I'm going to use this ability now. Let's actually stun. The stun doesn't... It barely affects these ZOMGs on the side, but I kind of want to separate the round. So this is going to be usage number 2, I think. Yes, there we go. So the next ability is going to crit. So DDT's incoming. Let's use the Sabo and let's see how much damage we can do. We do have the crit ability, but I don't want to crit, guys. I absolutely don't want to crit. And see, the thing is, Psy cannot target DDTs yet. So, and if I just use the level, I'm just going to use the level 10 ability, but it's not going to do anything to DDTs, and it's just going to be the super. So we're going to have to waste the crit. Yeah, I'm just going to use it. I know. Maybe we shouldn't have done it like this. Wait a minute, we still lose? Okay, so here's what we could do. Let me just buy something like a 240 snowstorm. So this thing is gonna affect the deities for a very short amount of time, but I really hope that this is enough. So because we know that the super monkey is gonna crit on the next ability, I kind of want to get the cycle going as fast as possible, because I do want to save the crit for the ZOMGs in rounds like 96 and 98, right? So I want to use the ability actually as soon as possible, so I'm gonna use it now. And then I'm going to rely on just this thing attacking. So let's stun with Psy, actually. Let's deal with you guys. And then let me use the Psy level 10 ability just because. And then the Sabo is going to wear off in a second. Let's freeze them. And this is... Oh my god, this is not working out, is it? No, we are actually leaking more than previously. Okay, so I actually bought this sniper as the 420, which is going to be stunning these deities by a very small amount of time, but I think that it's actually going to be helpful. So let's use the Sabo, and the way that I want to use these abilities is going to be the Sabo into the level 3 Psy ability as soon as the Sabo ends, and then eventually I just want to wipe everything, but these deities are still coming out. So we need for the deities to stop coming out so that we can actually use the... oh, wait a minute, let's get ready. Let's wipe now. And that is one more DDT. Yes, now that was the perfect order to do this thing, and it was the last track, by the way. So if these guys would have just kind of escaped from the super monkey's range, that would have been it. The thing is that we now wasted the crit, actually. So the cycle starts over, and so this is gonna be, I guess, the one I'm gonna use right now is gonna be ability number 1, and we're gonna need 2 more so we actually get the crit. So let's actually use the Sabo. Let me check size level, actually level 18. Oh my god, okay, you know what, it's time for Psy to go back. Let's actually move them like this so we can actually make some use of the level 3 stun ability, because I think at this point that's a lot more important. We're not getting level 20, but that's completely fine. Let's use the Tack Terra ability, which, wait a minute, was that a crit? I don't think that was a crit. Was that a crit? And let's use the Psy level 10 ability actually to kind of disperse all these guys. And look at this thing. I mean, it's going amazing. We do have the Sabo going, but I do want to be buying more abilities because we don't have enough damage for the bad balloon. And so we are going to need to get ready with some spike storms and stuff. But let's just, you know what? Let me just buy like 2 spike storms now just to be ready for them. And if I'm right, and if I use the Tack Terra ability now, this is not going to be a crit, right? Okay, that was not a crit. That was perfect. Okay, so the next one is a guaranteed crit on the ability, and I want to save that for the ZOMGs around 98. So far, everything is going perfect. Alright, that's amazing. Alright, so the most important round, if we can deal with this round, we're probably going to win, but we need to be very careful with our abilities. So we know that the next ability is going to be a crit. So here's what I want to do. I am going to use the Sabo, and as soon as all of these BFBs come out, I'm going to use size level 10 ability, and then as these ZOMGs are converging into a mill, I'm going to use the Tack Terra ability, and I think we're gonna do so much damage. It's gonna be insane. Okay, so Psy level 10 ability first, and then let's stun all these guys while they're in the middle, and after this Tack Terra ability. Yes, it wiped them. It did so much damage. Oh my god, that was so good. Okay, so now we just need to hold until we get some of the next abilities, but I don't know how much of a mess we're having, you know, from this left side, because we did pop a lot of balloons at once. We did have some spike storms, but I want to save them for the bad, so they are out of the question. And I'm just thinking, oh, we have the Sabo. Let's Sabo it up, and let's actually, you know what, we have some 45 DTs in the next round, so I'm just gonna get like a 240 snowstorm just to be safe, and let's see how we do. So I really hope that we're gonna save the level 3 Psy ability for the DTs, but yes, we absolutely have this thing. That was just amazing ability timing and planning with the crit on the Tack Terra. Oh my god, that was amazing. Okay, so let's actually stun these guys with size level 3 ability, because we don't have the Sabo yet, and we can actually freeze them and do the Tack Terra, and we have 2 of these guys surviving. Is this gonna be a problem? Yeah, they're gonna leak. Okay, so let's actually try and be careful with these abilities. Let me have this arm on strong, and let's try and stun these guys. Use the ability now. Oh, I called it. I called it. That was just like the perfect moment in which I saw the opportunity and I used the ability. That was perfect. Oh my god, you don't get those much in life, but I got it and I used it. Oh my god, that was just the perfect timing. Okay, so this is only gonna be around 100 bat, and if I'm correct, then just using 2 of these guys is gonna be, it's probably not gonna be more than enough, but it's gonna be kind of fine. And then we can buy size level 20 if we need to. I'm gonna buy it, and look at this thing, $900. I have the perfect run, guys. So we spent all our money, we used so many abilities, and it was just so fun. And let's just wait for this thing to pop. We're actually gonna have another round of these spike storms, so I'm gonna use it. And now the ability, if I can just use this, is gonna hold the entire round because Sai is level 20, and look at this thing, it's all gonna disappear, and bam, there it is. There's the new tech terror, actually, with all these nerfs in combination with just a bunch of ability timing. So it's still a very good tower, by the way, as you guys saw. But that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.